Alright, good morning, shadows. We are out and about having, we're gonna have a good day. Let's see where this car is gonna go before I cross over. Okay, I'm not sure where this guy's going, so we're just gonna go anyway. Alright, so we are basically just going to walk the path we did yesterday, kind of be able to get some footage, get some pictures, because like I said yesterday, I was the only person on the tour, so it was kind of hard to stop her from talking, and we were having a good conversation. So that is the plan for today, just kind of rewalk the path. So I'm having a stellar time here in Bucharest. Did wake up this morning, didn't feel a little good, but I'm gonna power through. I mean, how often are you gonna be in Bucharest? Like really, seriously. So yeah, let's do this. So right smack dab in the middle of Bucharest, literally right in the middle. This is kilometer 0, which means this is the direct center point of Bucharest. It's right next to a church. We'll go look at that real quick. And that's in a specific style, Brankovines, something. I'll have to look it up again. I know she talked about it, but it's something that's specific only to Bucharest. But this is kilometer 0. And so the newest part of it is the globe, and there's still questions on why they chose the zodiac. I don't know if you can see that there's zodiac on it, but there is zodiac on it. My guess would be that it's because the constellations are attributed to the astrological signs, and since this is a compass, that maybe that's why they chose it. I think originally they said it was supposed to be a statue of St. George killing the dragon, but the church, the Orthodox Church, said no, because of course you're not supposed to worship idols, and so that would be technically an idol. So they said no, so that's what they kind of wound up with. There's a lot of history here. At one point it was covered up. At one point, because of the communists didn't want, you know, there was a lot of stuff that was happening. But it's pretty cool, and it is in this really cool courtyard. Of the church we're gonna go look at. So let's go check it out. Guys, so the church is pretty amazing. I don't go in the churches because I feel it's a little rude to take pictures and to video in there, especially a working church. If it was a museum church, it would be different. Plus, I'm not a Christian, so I feel almost like it's just respectful. I don't want to go in and be sacrilegious to them as well as I would not want them to, unless they were interested. I do go in. It is a working church, and so I don't want to go in there and, you know, dampen it. So here's the church. Alright, so you probably recognize that statue. I don't want to give you the full tour that I gave, but obviously that's a statue of Romulus and Remus, gift to the city. If you want to learn more about it, you got to make sure you check out the walking tour done by Unbelievable Bucharest, so you can get the full story on that. All right, let's continue walking. So that's what I like about traveling. This older guy, construction guy, just stopped me, started talking to me. I told him I didn't speak English. He's like, speak Spanish. I'm like, un poquito. And so we just had a little conversation. He asked me where I was from. He asked me, you know, and just really lovely to have those conversations with people and experience it all. It kind of makes your day sometimes, you know. Anyway, let's get back to the history and Old Town. By the way, that's where I'm at. There is a lot of reconstruction going on, and a lot of non-reconstruction going on, and there's reasons behind that. because they're all historical monuments, they have to be preserved the way they're built. It's a little more pricey, so some people can't afford it, and then the ones that can obviously are doing it. It's a really great city center, so it makes sense. There's a lot of restaurants and souvenir shops, and it's very much a commerce section, which it has always been. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go take a seat, just chill for a few seconds, and we'll chat. So if this looks familiar, it's because this is where we ate yesterday. It's called Hanul Manuc, and like I said, it was actually like one of its first of its kind. It was a fortified inn, which means it had like a courtyard inside so they could protect their goods. Right behind me, we'll go look at it, is St. Anthony. Couldn't really go in yesterday. Yesterday was Tuesday, and so I guess that's when people come to pray and ask for wishes and stuff like that. We're gonna go check out this remains of what used to be a prison. It burned down, and so the only thing left really is like a replica of something that was there. We're actually not gonna go in, I'm just gonna show you, just so you can kind of see. Alright guys, like I said, this is a working church, so just like the other one, I am not gonna go in, but I will tell you that this has been rebuilt a couple of times from what I remember the tour guide saying. The only thing that's left of the original is the doorway, and then next up we're gonna look at the princely court. But this is St. Anthony, and yeah, so if you come to Bucharest and you want to visit it, unless you have like prayers that you want to have answered, you probably don't want to come Tuesday. It's pretty packed. It's a lovely little courtyard, but like I said, it is a working church, so I do not want to go in and so yeah, it just wouldn't be right. So kind of a cool little church, definitely check it out. Let me give you one more look. This is the grounds. Alright guys, we're going to sit down for a few seconds in the shade because it's getting a little warm, so that we can talk about the man, the myth, the legend. That's right. The reason most people think about Romania, at least in my opinion, Mr. Vlad Tepes himself. Now, the reason we're going to talk about Vlad Tepes is because the ruins of the princely court, which is what we're about to see, is tied significantly to him. His grandfather built it, I do believe, and then he was the one who expanded it to protect from the Turks. So he's very much tied to it. And here in Romania, he's actually looked at as a hero, whereas in the Western world, because of his tactics, we think he's like a monster, and that, you know, we've likened him to like the undead, like all that kind of stuff. But here, he's a hero. So I'm going to show you this. There's even like a really cool statue, and chat a little bit more. Now we can't go in because they are renovating or expanding or something like that, but this is the ruins of the princely court. Obviously not the whole thing. It's been demolished, and they have earthquakes here, and there was a huge fire. So, but there he is, the man himself, Mr. Vlad Tepes. So if you look here, I don't know if we can see that. You see the dates there? Those are wrong. That is not his life expectancy. That is more about the time that he ruled. And actually he only ruled for 6 years in total. He wasn't really long, but very well remembered. So something I learned, which I did not know, because you know, I love that kind of stuff, so I really researched. And the thing I learned was, I thought his last name was Tepes, but actually Tepes means the impaler, and that was actually given to him by the Turks. In life, he went by Vlad Dracula because of his father's, his lineage's heritage to the Order of the Dragon, which was something that wasn't only in Romania, it was kind of all throughout, so I thought that was kind of cool. So his name was actually Vlad Dracula, which means son of Dracul. And it's funny, I don't want to like ruin the whole thing, so like make sure you guys check out that walking tour, because she does tell you like what Dracula comes from and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, he's one of the reasons that I came, because I'm really interested in his stuff. Yeah, so enough of the history. Let's get to seeing some sights. I'm gonna sit here for a few minutes and have a couple drinks of water and then just relax, maybe take a few shots for the gram. You know, it is all about the gram. Yeah, and guys, don't forget, before I relax, if you guys want more in-depth information, make sure you check out my blog over on my website. The link is in the description below, as well as make sure you follow me on all my other social media, because that's going to give you a more full story. This is just one aspect of my trip. I do, like I said, a blog, and then of course daily stuff on my gram and Twitter and Facebook. So make sure you follow me on all those, and make sure if you're digging what you're seeing, you share it with all your friends. I'd love to have more people come along on my journey with me. Yeah. So let me get to drinking some water and taking some grams. All right, guys, see you in a bit. Guys, once again, it's a working church, so I'm not going to go in, but this is actually a church attached to a monastery in the middle of Bucharest. It's amazing. Once again, it's the Bucovino style that is so prominent in Bucharest. Beautiful inside. Now we're just going to keep walking down to see a couple other things, and yeah, the architecture here is sick, just sick. If you're into architecture, this is the place to come. Check this out. I mean, so many different styles, so many large buildings. The architecture is astounding. Guys, this is going to be a little bit noisier. So this is University Square. This is where a lot of like protests happen. In fact, this is where, right down over here, is right where the big revolution to bring down communism and Ceausescu happened. And so very important. It's technically not in Old Town, but it was part of the tour yesterday, so I thought we might as well just go ahead and finish out kind of checking out what we saw yesterday.